Burning Question powered by Timex, Havels Fans and Sharda University.
Well, good evening, friends. Welcome to this Friday 8 p.m. Burning Question. A day chock-a-block with major news developments, with Prime Minister landing in Hiroshima to participate in the G7 Leaders Summit that begins tomorrow. And then the Reserve Bank of India carrying out second demonetisation, a measured one, announcing phasing out of rupees 2,000 notes, even as the Supreme Court appointed committee of experts on the Adani Hindenburg saga comes out with its report. The report is out. We are discussing all that and more, but let's begin with the headlines first. Modi government goes all out against cash holders. Rupees 2,000 notes withdrawn from circulation, RBI says, will remain legal tender at least till September. Meanwhile, Vadra Congress Attack Centre calls for withdrawing of rupees 2,000 notes. A second day more disaster. Supreme Court appointed panel gives prima facie a clean sheet to SEBI and Adani Group on the Hindenburg controversy. Report states some entities that took a short position profited after Hindenburg report on Adani. New Parliament building set to be inaugurated by Prime Minister on May 28th. Vadra Congress calls it personal vanity project. Prime Minister lands in Hiroshima for G7 summit, meeting with the Ukraine president on the cards. Welcome back again, friends. As Modi government goes all out against cash holders, Reserve Bank of India announced withdrawal of rupees 2,000 currency notes from circulation. And existing notes in circulation can either be deposited in bank accounts or exchanged by September 30th, after which it's likely that the rupees 2,000 note might be consigned to the bins of history. It might become illegal tender. But as of now, it remains legal. You can still continue to use it. You can go to the nearest bank and exchange it for whatever other denomination of notes you want. Let's go to Sharmila from our business desk. And she joins us live. Let's try to understand exactly what the RBI has said. Shamila, if you can tell for the benefit of viewers what all the RBI has said in support of this decision and what it really means for those people who would have had rupees 2,000 notes at their homes. Can they still continue to use them? Can they go to the nearest bank and exchange them? And for how long they can do this?
Hi, yes. So the RBI has said the primary reason that the RBI has given today for this move is that there are only about 10.8% of in the circulation. 2,000 rupees notes are in circulation for only about 10% in the market, and they found it logical to be withdrawn anyway. There was a pressure for the withdrawal of these notes from 2022. Various reasons people have flagged that this high-value currency should be out of the market. But it was advised that it should be done in a phased manner so that it should not impact or create shock among people when it is pulled back. So even now, it is not a ban, it is a withdrawal, which means that slowly the phasing out will continue. And until September 30, people can use it, and people have that much time to go to the nearest bank, change it for whatever denomination they want, and come back with... so there will be no value loss Shamila, if a person is holding a rupees 2,000 note with themselves.
So essentially what you are suggesting is that there is no need to panic. People have 4 months, a good 4 months, beginning now. They have the month of June, July, August and September. 4 months beginning now, more than 4 months in fact, during which they can go to the banks and exchange their rupees 2,000 denomination notes. It's not illegal tender yet, and it's not being phased out tonight itself, like it had happened with the rupees 500 and rupees 1,000 notes on that November evening in 2016. So people need not panic. They need not queue up outside the banks, and they have enough time to really carry out the transactions, the exchange.
Yeah, this is the message that one has to put across. This is not demonetization, what we've seen that night on November night when suddenly 100 and 500 rupees were banned. It is not that which we are actually facing right now. It's just a gentle phasing out of a currency which is anyway very low in usage. You see, 10% of the total currency afloat is constituted of rupees 2,000 notes. So it's going to be a gentle phasing out, and we have got ample time to go to the nearest bank and get whatever value we want in exchange in whatever currency denomination we want. So that is clearly where we are today.
Okay, I'm told we are joined over the phone. Sharmila, you stay with us. We'll continue to have this conversation on this very major decision taken by the Reserve Bank of India in tandem with the Ministry of Finance, of course. And I'm told we are joined by Nandini Gupta over the phone. If the PCR can tell me if I'm through. And Nandini Gupta, the phone line is dropped. I'll come back to Sharmila to continue the conversation. Sharmila, the Reserve Bank of India essentially, while announcing the decision, says that this is part of their clean note policy. The last time 2000 denomination notes, in fact, 89% of those in circulation were issued as early as March 2017. So it's been roughly 6 years now, and that they are towards the end of their estimated lifespan of 4 or 5 years, following which either they had to renew or get new notes, which the RBI has decided it's not needed. And the reason why this is being done is, as explained by the RBI, the total value of these banknotes in circulation has declined from rupees 6.73 lakh crores at its peak as on March 31, 2018 to 3.62 lakh, or less than half, constituting only 10% of the notes in circulation as of March 31st, 2023, which was 2 months back. Which means essentially, unlike in the case of earlier demonetization in 2016, when overnight the rupees 500 and rupees 1000 notes became just a piece of paper and not legal tender, not currency. In this case, it's only 10% of the value of currency in circulation, and that too is going to be phased out over next 4 months. It's not going out now. In fact, let me take this to Kapil Madan, who's joining us live now, advocate and political analyst live from Delhi. We also have Akashdeep Muni joining us. Kapil, to you first, since you sort of lean towards the Congress party has called this disaster. In what manner does this become disaster, given the very reasoned note that the RBI has issued in support of its decision? Only 10% of the currency in circulation is in the rupees 2000 denomination notes. They have lived their life cycle. They have lived out their purpose, which was to tide over the crisis that was created in 2016 because of the overnight vanishing act that happened for the 500 and rupees 1000 notes, obviously with certain objectives. But how come this time it's a disaster, Kapil Madan? I have so many quotes from 2016 which slammed the decision of bringing 2000 rupee notes. Now, if they are going, you should be happy.
Now, Abhishek, I would like to thank you and congratulate you for acknowledging the fact that, the note ban that happened in 2016 was a crisis, and it was because of the crisis, a monumental crisis, because of which apparently, and it is a version of the government that in order to overcome or to, give some sort of a shock absorber, these notes were introduced. So you have to see from the policy perspective. When Mr. Modi initially announced the note ban, it was apparently, and the BJP projected that it is a fight against the black money. It is the fight against the corruption. It is the fight against the fake currencies being circulated in the economy. Now, against all those anvil, on the basis of which the previous note ban was made, the government has failed miserably. Now, today, Mr. Modi, in his Mann Ki Baat, does not really come forth and explain the people of the country what all benefit did we achieve from the 2016 note ban. Now, if this attempt now is to undo a error which led to a crisis that happened in 2016, then BJP has much to answer. They should let their people know that 2016 note ban was an error. They should let the people know that that led to a crisis. They should let the people know
Kapil.
that now
Kapil.
now it is again an attempt to mitigate what they've done in 2016.
Kapil, the question I asked you was, how does this second round of demonetization, when it happens in September, there is enough time, no need to panic, and this has to be emphasized for the benefit of viewers. Whatever amount of money you have in rupees 2000 denomination notes, you need not panic. You have enough time over a period of next 4.5 months. You can go to your nearest bank branch and exchange those notes, 10 notes at a time, 20,000 rupees at a time, and then all your money can be exchanged free of cost. So there is enough time. It's very planned execution of this decision. You need not panic. But Kapil, the question I asked was, how does this become a disaster? Now, since you sort of posited with the demo of 2016 and you said what benefits really happened, let me just give you some numbers. In 2016-17, the digital transactions that India carried in terms of numbers of transactions was about 20 billion transactions. Today, in 2022-23, the number has shot up to about 90 billion transactions, which is more than 4 times. In fact, if I could give you an idea of what it has done in terms of India's position vis-a-vis rest of the world in terms of digital transactions, and you would agree that how convenient it has become to pay to an auto wala or to the grocer when you have to pay, or to the green grocer, to the sabji wala, you pay just 20 rupees, 40 rupees. They are so happy taking that money by way of a digital transaction, because India stands at #1 position around the world in terms of real-time payments being made every day. It's at 46.8 billion. China is a distant second at 18.5 billion. Then Thailand comes at 9.7 billion. The United States is a paltry 1.8 billion. So this is one of the benefits that came out, because everyone became so open to the idea of accepting digital transactions. I can give you many other benefits that happened because of demonetization. There were problems in terms of the manner in which it was executed, and that has been discussed when this happened. But then my question, Akashdeep Moni, which Kapil Madan refuses to answer, is how come this demonetization, which is so well reasoned by the Reserve Bank of India in its note, where they say that they are following a clean note policy. Since 2017 March, they have all the 2000 rupee notes that are in circulation are before of 2017 March, 90% of them, and that the utility, they have outlived the utility in terms of managing the situation when there was a currency crisis in the system because of demonetization. I think it should be welcomed and accepted, Akashdeep Moni.
Abhishek, when you say that this is a demonetization, actually it is not demonetization. It's a resurrection of the problems that was created after demonetization. I totally agree with Kapil Madanji, who is saying that there is no benefit out of demonetization. Actually, you remember 99.99% of money was back into the banks. So, and you're saying that demonetization really brought online banking. It's far, because demonetization did not bring online banking. The facilitation done by the service providers in this country, the private service providers, did bring digital payments into circulation. The government did nothing into it. So please don't credit the government in this. Second point which I am making is that in this case, first you introduced 2000 rupee notes, and now you are taking back the 2000 rupee notes. Of course you can do it. Of course, the government has all the rights to do it. But the common man suffers. While the government has the mandate to facilitate easy payment system, provide internet facility. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. In Finland, the government provides free Wi-Fi everywhere. There is no private entity. Has the government done in this case? No. So how the government is liable to bring digital payments into circulation? So Sabzi wala, Dhoti wala, they pay to Jio, Airtel, etc. companies. They're not given free digital connections from the government. So then this is not the initiative of the government, and particularly 2,000 rupee note, taking it back. This is a farce that will be continuing. Demonetization gave this country nothing.
No. Please explain to me, Akashdeep Moni. Please explain to me, Akashdeep Moni, who really uses rupees 2,000 denomination notes? Like when you go to buy your veggies, when you go to buy your grocery, when you want to make your payment.
Yes, everyone.
Are you using the rupees 2,000 note? Are you really kidding me? Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. Yes, I'm serious. एक ठेला लगाने के लिए 20,000 रुपए लगते हैं. So everyone uses 2,000 rupee note. Everyone uses 500 rupee note. Everyone uses 100 rupee note. So this,
I think
this
you are
presumption that
you are arguing for the sake of arguing. You are arguing for the sake of arguing, Akashdeep, because I have, for example, I have not in my memory ever used a rupees 2,000 note with a green grocer. For God's sake, let's be honest about it.
No. They use. I am not saying that the customer uses with them. They use it. Everyone who is in the business uses 2,000 rupee note, and cash inflow is the usage of the common man. You can use digital payments. The common man does not. Go out in the grocer and ask him.
Akashdeep Moni, you are being intellectually dishonest when you say that someone like a green grocer, someone like an auto wala, they are using rupees 2,000 denomination notes for their day-to-day transactions.
Like Finland
It's really
provides free Wi-Fi, why Indian government did not provide free Wi-Fi to all the people in their country, like Finland did?
Now, come on, you are moving the debate. You are moving the goalpost. It's not about free Wi-Fi. Everyone has data on their phone. India happens to be one country which has cheapest data available in the world per GB. And that's why this revolution in terms of digital payments has been possible. I just gave you the numbers of the number of transactions that are happening per day, putting India at the top of the charts when it comes to digital payments. So also, because you are saying that no benefits happened because of demonetization or whatever happened was because of enablers. The enabling environment as a build-up to demonetization by way of the jam trinity, the Jan Dhan accounts and the Aadhaar and the mobile trinity together is something which enabled post-demonetization for people to really quickly switch to all these digital transactions and the payments. Also,
Abhishek, I just want to make a very quick
Kapil, I'll come to you. I've told Mr. Bhagwat Karad, Union Minister.
I want to make an important point. First give me 1 minute, and I really want to thank you. You're raising a very, very good and pertinent points. You raised a point that, Aadhaar and other digital platform enabled the government, enabled the citizenry to use UPI payment. And guess what? It was the BJP government that was opposing when the Aadhaar was introduced. Go and see the parliamentary debates. So to say that, we have digital payments because of the BJP government and because of the demonetization, I think you're trying to wrongly give benefit of to the BJP for the UPI payments, and you're trying to brush the issue, the ill effects of demonetization under the carpet. Is it not true? After the demonetization, we had 1.1% GDP fall for the quarter ending December 2016. Is it true or not? Abhishek, please tell me.
Minister of State for Finance, Mr. Bhagwat
You're being honest today, Abhishek.
Just hold on, let me speak to him.
Abhishek, you're being so honest today.
Let me speak to him.
You're being so honest today.
Very good evening, Mr. Karad.
Why don't you admit?
Kapil, hold on. We have Union Minister of State for... Okay, Kapil, I couldn't just speak to the minister. He dropped the phone because you would not stop. Okay, complete your point.
No problems. So, Abhishek, is it not a fact that after the demonetization, our GDP fell from 8.4 to 7.3 for the quarter ending December 2016? These are hard facts. You can't just, deny. There was an impact in the manufacturing sector. There was an impact in the informal sector. And you want to laud the BJP that because of demonetization, there was an increase
Just hold on now. Just hold on now. Kapil, Mr. Karad is back with us, Union Minister of State for Finance. Very good evening, Minister. the decision that has been taken by the RBI must have been taken in consultation with the Government of India and the Ministry of Finance. The Congress party is saying this is disaster. P. Chidambaram, the former Union Finance Minister of the Congress party when UPA was in power, has said that as expected, the government has withdrawn rupees 2000 note and given time until September 30. The rupees 2000 note is hardly a popular medium of exchange. Now, he is agreeing almost to every logic of RBI, but then he still wants to sort of pan or criticize the decision of the RBI to take away rupees 2000 from circulation. Sir.
Hello. See, RBI is an independent body and it regulates all the banks and the currency in the country. So RBI has taken circular and withdrawn the 2000 notes. It is a RBI's decision. It is an independent decision taken by the RBI, and there is a clear-cut written in the circular that anybody who are having the 2000 notes, they can deposit in the banks. The amount maximum deposited can be around 20,000, and one has to deposit before 30th of the September. So this is a decision taken by the RBI, and we have to follow it.
Sir, also the criticism is that just as the government brought back rupees 500 note, the government might bring back rupees 1000 note also, in which case the whole exercise of demonetization comes back full circle. You are back with rupees 500 and rupees 1000 notes, and the reason why they were demonetized perhaps do not stand anymore.
See, first upon the criticism from the Mr. Chidambaram, Chidambaram was also a finance minister of the country, and he knows very well that the RBI is an independent body. RBI takes decisions. So RBI has taken the decision. That's all. Regarding the 500 and 1000 notes, that RBI will decide. I cannot comment on this. I will not comment. Okay.
Who is the third? All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Karad, for joining us and giving this perspective, clearly saying that it's the RBI decision. The government, of course, fully backing it. But then RBI is an autonomous institution and takes a decision based on inputs it gets, feedback it gets, and the monitoring of economy it does. Nasir Salim is also there with us. It seems all the three panelists actually not agreeing with what the RBI has done. Nasir Salim, we had Akashdeep Moni saying that no, even the green grocer uses rupees 2000 notes. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea keeping the rupees 2000 note because even the commoners use it. I disagree with him. But then we have Congress's P. Chidambaram saying that the rupees 2000 note is hardly a popular medium of exchange. Then what's the problem if it goes? For God's sake. Nasir. No, irrespective, tell me if the rupees 2000 note, the currency note, is not useful for a great mass of citizenry in the country, what's the problem if it is phased out, irrespective of whether you exchange it with 500 rupee note, 1000 rupee note, whenever it comes. The point is, if rupees 2000 currency note is not being used by a great number of people in the country, its phase out should not be a problem. It should be okay.
Yeah, hi.
Nasir, you have to remove your mute button. You have to unmute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, good evening. Firstly, I must tell you, I'm not in disagreement with this policy. I was just before this show also of yours, I was in Republic. I was clarifying some of the Q&As required for your viewers. I think to answer your question, the 2000 denomination banknote was introduced in November of 16 under Section 24 of the subsection 1 of the RBI Act, primarily with the objective to meet the currency requirement of the economy in a expeditious manner. Now, obviously, with the fulfillment and the objective and the availability of banknotes in other denominations now which are in adequate quantities, the printing of 2000 bank notes was stopped in 2018-19. So, to answer your question, I am in no disagreement. All that I'm saying is that I think the RBI is very clear. They have also put a few checks and balances in place this time in terms of execution. There is a redressal mechanism in place to say that if a bank refuses to exchange or accept deposit of rupees 2000, all members of the public can go and raised their complaint
Okay.
with as an aggrieved customer. So the execution is something which seems to be looking better this
Kapil,
time.
understood. Let me just clarify it further. Nasir, I absolutely understood your point, but let me just clarify for the naysayers. Kapil, let's use the word phase out instead of demonetization. Then perhaps you become a little comfortable with the idea. Because this is not the first time this is happening. While demonetization happened before 2016, so for example in 1978 and 1946, the phase out has happened much more frequently, and the last being during the UPA regime in 2013-14, before the Narendra Modi-led NDA came to power. So the phase out as part of the clean note policy keeps happening by the Reserve Bank of India. What's the problem if, based on feedback and a lot of research and understanding and the kind of resources that the Reserve Bank of India has, these experts came to a conclusion that rupees 2000 note is not needed. Just delineate this aspect from the larger demonetization debate and see the possibility of rupees 2000 note becoming a store of black money. You should be okay with the idea that it is being phased out.
So, Abhishek, it sounds like, what are we, trying to do is that we have stitched a dress and then we are trying to find an individual who can fit into that dress. But that's not the way we can debate. I mean, you can't, speculate these aspects. It is for the government to come forth and say, I mean, the last time they
it's
could
not speculation. I said Reserve Bank of India, with the kind of expertise and resources it has, come to a reasoned conclusion that rupees 2000 note is not needed. Is it difficult to trust them?
So the point is, when we started the debate, you said that there was a crisis that happened, and in order to overcome that crisis, 2000 note was introduced.
Yes, of course, it's well chronicled. Nobody is denying that. We have debated it, discussed it. There was a crisis that panned out because the manner it got executed. Why rake it up again and again? That's why I'm saying just delineate this aspect of phase out of rupees 2000 notes from the larger demonetization debate, and then do you agree?
So are you first? Let's get the things straight. Are you holding the government accountable for the disaster that happened in 2016 that was called demonetization? Let's go step by step. Are you holding the government accountable for that or not? Because everything, if you
do you want to go back to
holding the
2016?
government
You don't want to live in 2023?
Of course, yes. Of course, we will talk about it. Because you can't see this demonetization in isolation.
Karan Verma.
This is a follow-up what they did. That was step one, and this is, step two.
Kapil Madan's and Congress Party's needle.
It's a very good question.
Kapil Madan's.
I expect
Congress
good questions from Kapil. Yes, I want to answer this specifically.
They can't see the logic behind an expert's body like the Reserve Bank of India deciding on a phase out which has happened so frequently in the history of the country.
So back in November 2016, when the demonetization happened, in March 2017, the 2000 rupee notes accounted for 50% of the value. The entire currency in circulation, it accounted for 50% of the value, which was a huge amount. It should not have been more than 30%. And the government is on record admitting that in a bid to remonetize quickly, we did take this up. But I think a dynamic government is one which tries to course correct with time. From 50% in 2017 March to 13% today in March 2022, not today, March 2022. It's been a tapering down, gradual, calibrated effort by a responsible government. So today, if this is being phased out and 30th September is being given, I think it's a very wise move. It's a very wise move. It is not going to cause any sort of liquidity shock.
Absolutely.
No liquidity shock.
You see the mistakes that were made in 2016-17, the lessons that were learned or have been learned out of that execution, they are being incorporated in this decision. Also, because you said what benefits came out, let me give you some numbers. These are studies done by some organizations. For example, terror financing, the tap on terror financing ran dry. Also, the kind of phase out of the fake Indian currency notes happened. It became difficult for our enemies across the border to bring out or circulate fake currency in Indian system. Also, Naxal movement was affected to a level where Naxal arrests went up by 20% and the Naxalite attacks went down by as much as 55%. Black money to the tune of rupees 1.3 lakh crores was recovered in the first 6-7 months of demonetization itself. Is this not an achievement? Does it not balance out whatever difficulties in the bad rollout of demonetization people of the country faced in the first 3-4 months? Kapil?
Well, Abhishek, I mean, you're acting like a, BJP spokesperson because they don't even know what is the line of argument they need to
I am
take.
not speaking like a BJP spokesperson. I am bringing some facts for your understanding.
You're sounding, Abhishek, because the BJP is not clear why they did demonetization.
Your question, I put it across to Karan Verma.
Let me respond to your fact.
You are not representing Congress party, maybe you lean towards them. And Karan Verma does not represent the BJP, maybe he leans towards the party. I am giving you some facts. Digital payments,
yes,
of which the country and every citizen of the country is beneficiary, is not for the BJP or the Congress party, for God's sake.
Let me give you a
If Naxalite activity has gone down, left-wing extremism has gone down in the country, it's for the benefit of the people of the country, not for BJP or the Congress.
Can I respond to you, Abhishek, now? Can I, if you
please go ahead.
If you're done, then I can respond to you now. Now, Abhishek, see what is the line of argument that is emerging. BJP is not clear why they did demonetization. BJP is not clear what were the benefits, they got out of the demonetization. Since there was no tangible benefit, and in fact, that caused an admitted negative impact of the country's GDP. Now you're just trying to get some sort of, visible advantage out of the demonetization.
Okay, let me give you a reasoned answer.
Apparently it is not. Let me give you a reasoned answer. Let's talk about UPI. Let's talk about UPI. Let's talk about UPI. Now, UPI would not have been possible without Aadhaar
I gave you the numbers.
And my friend Karan, he's a very intelligent person, and he would also agree with me that it was the BJP that was opposing
give
Aadhaar
the credit
in the
for UPI also via Aadhaar to Nandan Nilekani and hence via Nandan Nilekani to the UPI. What's the problem? We are not here apportioning benefits and credits. It's about the country.
Abhishek, I don't know.
Irrespective of Nandan Nilekani gets the credit or UPI gets the credit, you agree that digital payments is a plus, is a positive for the country.
I don't get your logic, Abhishek. When you were talking UPI, I was giving you an answer on UPI. Then you talk.
Okay, give the credit to Nandan Nilekani. Now that you agree, digital payments is a plus, is a move forward. Admit that much.
Chidambaram was ridiculing that on the floor of the House. He said this will never happen. He had to eat his words. Admit it. Digital payments was not something the Congress was.
Okay, respond to this.
Success.
Kapil Madan versus Karan Verma. Kapil, decide. You want to take credit for it or not take credit for it?
Kapil, 2 lakh companies were struck off, which were doing illegal businesses. They were just hawala operators. Don't you think we have had more formalization of the economy post demonetization?
Are you trying to say that you don't have shell companies there? The biggest shell companies issue is being debated on Adani. Still, there is no government answer on that. Still, there is no JPC. Still, there is no ED. There is no CBI. So you don't tell me that shell company doesn't exist.
Today only a report has come which has said there is no wrongdoing.
That's what I'm saying. They've not been investigated. They've not been investigated.
Kapil, unfortunately, you are tying yourself into knots.
No, Abhishek,
you are tying yourself into knots. You don't know whether to take credit for it or not, because if you take credit for Aadhaar, then you have to concede that digital payments is a plus, and that digital payments transactions and India's position overall as the key player and the topmost nation in the rankings in terms of digital payments has really made a huge impact on the quality of life living for the people on the ground, particularly the common masses. On that note, I have to take a short break, but this conversation, stay back. Kapil Madan, Karan Verma and Nasir with us. I will continue this conversation after a short break. Shravan Sen, in fact, my senior editor, is joining after a short break.